What's going on, guys? Chuck here with another awesome Blu-ray purchase. Today, I want to take a look at a new release from Second Sight Films. One that I was very excited when they announced it, and it was a day one buy for me immediately, pre-order actually, and that is from 2015. It Follows, in a limited edition 4K release from Second Sight Films. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that Second Sight announced that they were going to be releasing this film. Because it's not one I really expected to be put out there. I mean, it's fairly new. Not fairly new, I guess it's over like 7, 8 years old. About 8 years old now. And while I do believe it has a good reputation, I don't think it's really well known, or not too many people talk about it outside of, horror collectors and the horror community, if you will. The average person, I think, probably missed this, which is a shame because this is a very, very good horror film. And, when they announced they were releasing it, it was, to me, day one pre-order. And I was especially surprised that not only was it getting a 4K, but it's going to be getting this nice limited edition treatment. And like I said, I've mentioned I really enjoy what I've recently picked up from Second Sight, and they've been really nailing it. Starting with, as far as I know, with like their Dawn of the Dead set. I know I have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K is beautiful. While I was recently talked about Meg. Well, it was only Blu-ray, but it was still a beautiful set. But they are really doing a fantastic job with these releases, and this is no exception. For those that don't know, the basic premise of It Follows is a young lady who ends up having a sexual encounter with her new boyfriend. Finds herself being stalked by an evil presence that manifests itself in different forms, but it's, no matter where she goes, what she does, it keeps coming after her. It follows her. And in essence, she's basically cursed. And the only way to release this curse, like any other kind of curse, is you've got to pass it on to another person. The only way to pass it on is through a sexual encounter. Now, obviously, these kind of films with curses following you are, not new. They've been done plenty of times in different ways, and you can go back to movies like was it Curse of the Demon? I think it was, with a parchment upon someone and the person's cursed. I think in some ways, Drag Me to Hell, and you've got the curse. There's a bunch of them out there, but this one I thought was really great. I mean, to me, it seemed like somewhat original in the fact that they were basically taking the idea of the curse and using it in a sense as an allegory for, in my opinion, I think it's really subtle, an allegory for safe sex. I mean, this woman, she has a sexual encounter. Now, if remember, sir, because it has been a while since I've seen the movie, honestly. It wasn't an intentional encounter because, the person she's with is basically trying to get rid of the curse himself. It's a lot like The Ring. You can see that curse that you want to pass off to get rid of the curse off you. So she's stuck with, essentially, a sexually transmitted disease. In this case, instead of something like herpes or gonorrhea or something even more deadly, she's dealt with a vengeful spirit coming after her. It's trying to kill her, and it will keep trying to kill her until she can pass that curse along by passing along via sexual activity. So that's a neat allegory to that concept of sexually transmitted diseases. But beyond that, the film, I think, is, in my mind, was very great. It had a nice creepy atmosphere. Was the thing that really drove me into the movie the most, was the atmosphere. I loved it. Just had a good creep factor. I was, I was into it from the very beginning. I just loved, it really pulled me in to the film, and it really there was times that it felt the music just was played to me. Everything about the characters was great. I just really loved this movie. And again, admittedly, it has been a while since I have seen it, so the details are a little fuzzy. I just remember I really liked it, so I'm looking forward to giving this a rewatch. especially to get refresh myself and to see this new print. But I know, like I said, the things that I took away from the film was the fact that it was very atmospheric, and that's something that I think is missing in a lot of modern, at least the modern horror films I've seen, which I don't see too many, because not many of them really appeal to me anymore. That I like, and plus it's kind of hard to find the time to watch a lot of them. But yeah, to me it was kind of a slow burn. It was paced just right. It wasn't trying to rip through anything. There was a definite sense of dread and menace, and fear when you look around and see these creepy specters, entities, because they manifest themselves as people, that are following this girl, but they're not always the same person, but they're different people, but they're all creepy, and they kind of like in the background subtly, but you see them, they're just kind of following, and it just really brings up a serious creep factor. Think about yourself walking the street, how many people you see walking around and kind of just staring at you, or you have that feeling that you're being followed. No matter where you go, that person's still behind you somewhere. And as a person who's had a personal experience of something like that, it is very terrifying. That's the whole story we'll get into. But, anything to say, it's a very, very good movie. If you've never seen it, I recommend you check it out. And if you get a chance, pick up this 4K from Second Sight. This is a beautiful, beautiful set. Let's take a look at this right now. So here's the front of the box, and it's just looks out here. You see it's a big chunky box. Here's the back of a car. You wonder what's a car. Well, the car plays a major point, but it's a catalyst, I guess, if you will. And here's your goodies inside. We'll quick before you get that. Here is the L card for that, and there's with all your special features on here. Take a look at that. And while this is Second Sight, it is Region B, in the sense that the Blu-ray is Region B. Of course, this is a 4K also, so the 4K will be region free. But if you have a 4K player, pick this up. If you don't have a 4K player and you need to get the region free player, so you can grab this. But I do recommend it. So you can get these out of here. And what they've done here is amazing. So here's your discs, and again, there's the car. Get a look at that. Inside, you've got your 4K and your Blu-ray discs. Here's your 4K and your Blu-ray. Oh, if you can see there's the deed about to get done. Bad things will only happen from there. And we've got some cards here, which we tend to usually get with these Second Sight releases, which I have not opened yet. So let's do that right now. All right. Here's your first image. And I can't remember the actress's name, honestly, and it's been a while. I mean, not too many of the actors here, ones I really are familiar with, but they all gave great performances. And again, I have to really refamiliarize myself with the film. It has been a long time since I've seen it. I just did see it, and I really, really enjoyed it. Here's that same image. The car is very prominent. And you see the blue tint. That's kind of the blue tint is predominant over this entire set, and it's kind of the atmosphere you get from the film. It's just that dark, moody creepiness, I guess is the best way to describe it. And then your last one. There. So there's all the cards. Now, on top of that, you get this nice hardbound, another big, thick book. I mean, this is amazing. And I think this is, I want to say like a 150-page book, maybe. Yeah, it's a 150-page hardback book with all kinds of stuff. Here's your contents. And I am just amazed that this film got this great treatment. I mean, it's amazing. I'm blown away. And I'm glad, because this is a movie that really deserves to be known if it's not, and if you put out there, people definitely need to check it out. This is a really, really great little movie. I don't know how well it did, box office wise. Did it come out? I'm sure it came out the box office. I don't know. I don't remember hearing about it honestly until after the fact. So I don't know if we got how wide of a theatrical release it got. I know I saw it through at home video, and I can't remember. I wish I could remember where I initially heard about it from. I don't remember if it was from a podcast, other people talking about the movie, or just happened to come across it, just surfing through Netflix and saw it. Hey, it looks interesting. I'll check it out. I don't know what the case was, but I'm glad I did, because again, it's to me, it's a hidden gem. If you're not aware of it, and again, as I said, I don't think that the average horror fan really knows about it. Maybe they do. I know, obviously, the diehards. I've heard a lot of people talk about it and praise this movie, and rightfully so. So, I'm just in here. There you go. I really hope that with this release, maybe we get a few more eyes on it, because It Follows definitely needs to be picked up, checked out, and seen. And I'm really glad this got a nice 4K release. Now, this does replace my Blu-ray. So if you're interested in this movie, you don't have 4K, you're not region free, you can get it on a basic Blu-ray. So it is out there, this Blu-ray and digital, and I'm sure you can get it for fairly cheap. So if you really want to check it out, it's available. If you can't get your hands on this awesome set, again, if you're not 4K capable and you don't have a region free player to pick up the set, you can still get the basic Blu-ray. And I highly recommend, however you do it, you do it. So that is it for this real quick look at Second Sight's release of It Follows 4K. I can't recommend it enough. Check this movie out if you haven't. Get this release. You won't be sorry. I promise. So, if you enjoyed this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've seen It Follows. Your thoughts on it. Your thoughts on cursed movies. Or not cursed movies. That's a whole different thing. Movies where people are cursed. There you go. Or just say hi. I'll always take hi. Until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.